I've been waiting for you, Yagami-san.
Rolling out the red carpet, huh?
Izumida was hoping you'd lower your guard if I was the first person you saw here.
The man never changes. He loves his mind games.
Yagami-kun, how did they convince you to come?
I heard your pal Izumida wants to chat. And depending on what I say, he may or may not try to arrest me.
I'm not sure it'll be quite like that.
Huh? Then what's it gonna be?
Well, you're about to get thrown to the wolves.
Hey, Mafuyu.
Good luck. Excuse me. I've brought Yagami-san.
Much appreciated.
Huh. Even the chief prosecutor's in on this.
Please come in.
So these are the wolves. A room full of prosecutors, huh?
Yagami-sensei, I believe Kuroiwa-san already told you this, but we want to talk to you about Shintani-sensei's murder. However, this is not a courtroom. And we're not strangers, or wolves. Just try to relax.
Yeah, relax, right. I'm not telling you what you want to hear, though. You want me to say I killed Shintani, right? Sorry, not happening. The burden of proof's on you, anyway. So why don't we start there? Why do you think I did it?
Yagami-sensei, where were you on the night of Shintani-sensei's murder?
Answer my question with another question? That's not very nice.
Do you have an alibi for that evening?
You heard of a company called KJ Art? The place is a front for some Kansai Yakuza, the Kyorei clan. On the night of the crime, I was near there with their captain, Shioya. He'll back my story up, I'm sure.
And care to explain why Shintani-sensei's corpse was found in your office?
I was hoping you could tell me. Maybe the real killer could answer that for you.
Naturally. That's why I called you here.
Mind if I interject?
Go right ahead, Morita-san.
Yagami-san, you stole a look at Shintani-sensei's call history before the police arrived, yes? Not long before his death, he placed a call to the Advanced Drug Development Center. Knowing that, you barged into the center and interrogated both Kido-san and Shono-san. Why would you do such a thing?
I wanted to figure out what made Shintani a target, who wanted him dead.
Is that not the police's job?
I couldn't leave it to them, or the prosecution. After all, you guys have a bad habit of going after the wrong guy. Kinda like right now.
I see. So you mean to imply someone else killed Shintani-sensei? Do you have anything that could prove that claim?
You want proof? I think I can find it.
This better not be a waste of time.
Funny, I could have said the same thing when you dragged me in here.
Yes, please begin.
Before we get to Shintani's murder, there are a few things I need to cover. 1 year ago, the ADDC published a research paper on a new drug they were developing called 89. This drug has gained global recognition as the thing that may finally cure Alzheimer's disease. What hasn't gained recognition is the fact that someone from the ADDC was murdered 6 months ago.
An ADDC member murdered? Who?
The vice director, Toru Hashiki. Hashiki was seen arguing with a strange man in Kamurocho before being found lying beaten in the street. He died in the hospital 3 weeks later. The culprit is still at large. Did you know of this case?
It's the first I've heard of it.
Understandable. It didn't make many headlines. Incidentally, this Hashiki guy had a pretty big secret.
Uh-huh.
Turns out he was working for the Kajihira Group, a massive construction company based out of Kansai. Kajihira was planning to redevelop the land the ADDC sits on. He'd already settled it with the Minister of Health, had the Kyorei clan muscle in on the turf too. But the plan fell apart when 89 was announced. Kajihira ended up taking a pretty big hit, to the tune of 100 billion yen.
What?
That's when Hashiki came in, swearing to Kajihira that he'd scuttle 89, no matter what it took. Just before he was beaten half to death, Hashiki went out with another member of the ADDC. Someone deeply involved in the development of 89. Someone he thought he could manipulate. I'm sure you recognize this man, Izumida-san. 3 years ago, he testified about the murder that had taken place at the ADDC. He claimed he had seen the victim, a patient by the name of Waku, still alive.
I remember him. You're referring to Dr. Shono?
Mm-hmm. He's also the head of the 89 research team. Hashiki was grilling Shono, convinced that there was something fishy going on with 89.
Like what?
He thought they had fabricated data and falsified the effects of the drug. After all, it wasn't until rumors of closing the ADDC started swirling that Director Kido suddenly announced 89. Hashiki was convinced it was all too convenient to be coincidence. But that doubt didn't sit well with those who stood to rake in massive profits off 89's development.
Are you implying Hashiki's murder was premeditated?
Sounds like we're finally on the same page, Izumida-san. I had the exact same thought. Taking all this into account, doesn't it seem like there really is something fishy about 89? But let's get back to Shintani. Just before he was murdered, he called the ADDC and tried to get in touch with a very specific someone. Maybe that phone call provoked whoever is trying to hide the truth about 89. Shintani was an obstacle, just like Hashiki. He had to be removed. What I'm saying is, there's a chance anyone who gets too close to learning the true nature of 89 is being murdered. And if you haven't investigated down that path, then one thing's pretty clear. You have a lot more work to do before you can arrest me, wouldn't you say? Answer me, Izumida! If you still want to bring me in, let's see some proof. All these prosecutors, and nobody's got any proof.
That's quite a theory, Yagami-san. Truly fascinating. There were details in there even we weren't aware of. You've clearly done your homework.
I'd be glad to hand over my findings if it'll help. After all, 89's practically a household name at this point. Lifting the lid on it might be too much for me to handle all on my own. And besides, I think I'd rather work with you than Izumida here.
You need to lose the attitude, Yagami.
Sorry, I need to take this. Yes, hello? Is that so? Yes, you've done excellent work. Thank you. Just so you're aware, the prosecution has made a coordinated effort with law enforcement. We've already submitted a request for the court to issue a warrant. I'm sorry for the call, but that was the verification of our request, you see.
You're still gonna arrest me after all this, huh?
Fortunately, you're not the one under arrest.
What?
I wouldn't celebrate. We're not done with you just yet. It's in the interest of closing the case.
Listen here, Yagami. You know who Shintani's killer was? It's your old friend, Ayabe.
What?
Striations on the recovered bullet are a perfect match to his firearm. There's no doubt. He's the one. Like it or not, he's going down.